Hey, can everyone hear me? I'm just gonna get started here. All right, dope. Glad to have everyone here. Yeah, always fun doing these video calls. So I'm just gonna go over, like, blast through some things. Feel free at any point to kind of ask questions online in the chat on the side. I can actually pull my window to another monitor so I can keep tabs on that. All right, cool. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go over some of the high-level concepts here so that you guys have a chance to understand how Voiceflow works and how voice and conversations work in general. This includes chatbots, like talking to your Facebook Messenger bot, or to, like, even to your phone, like those IVR bots where you, like, say press 1 for something, press 2 for something. This is the whole system behind that, kind of how it all works. All right, so I'm just going to blast through this, some of the lore. I mean, to start up all the fun stuff. You guys can read up on it later. Yeah, so essentially the most important part to look at here is there's the end user. So these are the people who, like, talk to their, like, Siri or to their Alexa or to their Google or like whatever. They're gonna ask their Alexa, like, a question, right? Like, what's the balance in my checking account, or what's my checking balance? So that your voice gets put in there and it gets sent to Amazon servers somewhere on the cloud. Amazon servers figure out that they turn your, like, speech into text. So now it knows it's what's my checking balance. And it turns that text into something called an intent. So, like, the user wants to check their balance. So it's the balance intent. And the slot they're filling for is checking. So they could say, what's my savings, or what's my TFSA? But that would change the slot, account slot. So you change little things in there. And this is where Voiceflow comes in. So this request comes in through a webhook. So it's getting sent a request. And Voiceflow figures out, based on the request, based on the user ID, based on the previous session and kind of what's been happening, it'll send back a response. This is all, like, high level, really vague stuff. So I think it's better if I kind of just hop in as well. So in my really unbiased opinion, I think Voiceflow is probably the easiest way to, like, make something impressive at a hackathon for, like, the amount of effort to return. And I've been to hackathons. I've won a prize at Hack North before, so take it from me. The reason for this being is you're kind of making use of a really cool technology, which is voice. Kind of being able to build a demo, which is something that feels like it's next gen. So I'm just going to make a new project. I'm going to call it my cool project. And this is where you get to, like, pick your poison. I usually recommend Amazon Alexa. Depends on if I have a device on hand or not. But I'm just going to go with Alexa here. And this is pretty much Voiceflow. It's a canvas. You can't mess it up. You kind of just write like blocks here. You drag blocks into a canvas, you make it say things. So if you want Alexa to say, hello, do you want to hear a dad joke? So that you can preview this as well.
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke?
Okay. You can even go ahead and press test and kind of test this out.
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke?
Yeah, so that's kind of the start to building out your thing. Now you want to branch the user off, right? The user should be able to make choices and do other things. So they could probably say yes here, or they could say no, presumably. I'm going to drag out another block and say dad joke here. We test this whole flow again.
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke? Dad joke here.
Okay, so everything works, you know, there's nothing crazy, like, it's very straightforward so far. But what I think is great is that you can kind of extend this now and start really building in functionality. And this is where the APIs come in. So for everyone who's kind of familiar with API patterns and things, this is a very standard API. So let's say dad jokes API. So this is an existing API where you can fetch a dad joke. application, no. There you go. So what I'm doing is I'm sending a request to this URL. I can test the request to see that it works. You can use any API. You can build your own service. You can run it off your own computer, whatever you might need. Okay, so you see that the response object has a joke property to it. So what we can do is map response.joke to create a new variable here called joke. And then we can say joke here. And we can even follow that up and say, do you want to hear another joke that appeared here? And we can go back to the yes or no. And this is like a really, I built this in like 5 minutes, right? I mean, just test it off. All right.
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke? What do you get when you cross a chicken with a skunk? A foul smell. Do you want to hear another joke? Archaeology really is a career in ruins. Do you want to hear another joke?
Yeah. So obviously this is a terrible like application and there's no practical purpose, but it's just to show like how you can build something really fast and it works. So I hope you guys build something way cooler than this. And the next cool part is I'm just going to upload this to Alexa. All I have to do is hit that button up there. I actually have an Alexa beside me, so you guys can see it. What's that?
Beside me by Cece from Spotify.
No, please. Oh my God. Alexa, stop. Okay. Anyways, if you guys happen to have a device or something, you can play around with it. If not, there's something on a web browser. You guys can play around with that as well. It's really taking its sweet time here. Yeah, I'll show you the progress. Cool. Once it's done, you can just press Alexa Developer Console. And oh yeah, this requires you to have an Amazon account set up. I'm sure everyone has one of those, but you just have to fill out some more developer settings. And when you upload, it'll guide you through it. So here I have Cool Project. I can say open Cool Project.
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke? Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom? The P is silent. Do you want to hear another joke?
Hey, for Samson, so yeah, the latency is very fast. Like, as you can see here, I have asked something and it's responding something. The only thing that might slow it down is if your own API that you're calling kind of sucks and it takes a long time to resolve, then that will slow down the latency. But otherwise, it's pretty much like indistinguishable. Also, for everyone, like Google Assistant is the exact same principle. You just, like when you create your project, you have to decide that you want it as a Google Assistant project and just build it out in the exact same way. Yeah. Alexa, open Cool Project.
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke?
No. And it'll just kind of end because this no obviously leads to nowhere. Yeah, so that's kind of how this whole system is built together and it works. I think they're about the same speed. For the most part, like most users wouldn't be able to tell the latency. The only like real innovation. The thing is, like when you talk, it sends whatever you say to the cloud, and then that, like on to Google or to Alexa, they figure out what you said, and then they send another request to us, and then we figure out based on your diagram what to say back, and then that goes back to Google, and that goes back to your actual device, and then it speaks it back out. So that whole round trip takes maybe like 200 milliseconds to like 500 milliseconds. Yeah. Yes, Kasim, it's possible. It's just a little harder. Follow up with me on that. I will just message me at tyler@voiceflow.com. I'll leave my email in this chat as well to like bring up extended contacts if you guys want to build a project. So that brings me to my other thing, which is called the general project. this is kind of what you would use if you don't have Google or Alexa. Just want to check something here. Yeah, so you can kind of take the general project and you can apply it to other things as well. If you guys remember earlier, Voiceflow has its own built-in test tool, right? So you can press test over here. What's kind of cool about this is that if I press test, I'm obviously running it.
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke?
It's kind of like a mock of Alexa or whatever. You have to say exactly what you've typed into your choices because it's not actually smart. It doesn't have an NLP built in, not yet. We're releasing that soon. But if you actually go to Canvas here and you swap over to Webhook. That do its thing. See that I have like an endpoint. And if I copy this endpoint to my clipboard, sorry, I'm all the way back here again. No, wrong project. These endpoints are project and user specific, so they'll only work for you on a particular project. But I'm just gonna bring open Postman here. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Postman for sending requests. I'm gonna grab Postman. I'm just gonna slap in this link here. And in the body, I'm just gonna say text and yes. So when I start my test here.
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke?
Send a request.
A man walked into a bar with some asphalt on his arm. He said, 2 beers, please. 1 for me and 1 for the road. Do you want to hear another joke?
So what just happened was I actually didn't type anything into this box. I sent a request from another service somewhere else, and it triggered the next Voiceflow thing to happen. So you can kind of build out your own like very smart assistant, maybe based around like some other button somewhere. You press something or on some other website, you can trigger it. Yeah, so that's also kind of cool. And yeah, so Voiceflow is like technically like a visual programming language too. It's Turing complete. There's a whole variable system. There's global and local variables. As you guys saw earlier from the jokes, you guys will probably make a lot of use of the if block. So if some condition is true, go up, go this way, or go that way. And we even have a code block where you just straight up type JavaScript code. Here, joke equals. And maybe I replace this API block, this joke block. Yeah, Samson. So a few people actually won Hack in the North last year with Voiceflow. I think one guy made some like Naruto battle simulator. He had like a Xbox Connect, like recognizing your like Jitsu hand symbols, and then like it made something request to Voiceflow and figured that out. But I think if you build like a nice ecosystem with like different components and like mix and match them well, you can kind of impress judges and build something cool. Yeah, I think if you want to build a project purely from Voiceflow, you should be prepared to like make it. So if you don't want any more wow factor from like integrating with other third-party projects, you might want to build like some massive project that like has like a lot of branches, a lot of different ways a user can say something. I don't know. This is like a really old project with Voiceflow, so it's a bit crazy. It's actually lagging my computer right now because I'm screen sharing, but you can make crazy things. The crazy thing about this project is like, so there's these things called flows in Voiceflow. So you can have folders. You can take this entire diagram and group it together as a flow. There's like this, I didn't make this, another user did, but there's like a million flows for everything. But yeah, if you want to make a pure Voiceflow project, I think find a really cool use for it. We've had some company internal hackathons where we made like a Slack type thing, or I don't know, like be original. Don't make like a grocery list like app, but make something really cool. And I think as long as the concept is good, then yeah, go for it. Cool. Does anyone have any other questions? So yeah, here's a demonstration of the custom code block. So instead of like sending API requests, I'm writing some JavaScript code. You can write like whatever scripts you want here. Works the same way.
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke? I'm not funny. Do you want to hear another joke?
There's no easy way to implement it into a mobile or web app at the moment, but we're kind of building that up. There is a way, but I could follow up with me on email if you're willing to kind of like, it involves more coding and like actually going into a runtime and figuring out. We don't have documentation for it yet, but it does exist. Yeah, and my email's in the chat from earlier. I'll try my best to be on Hack the North Discord, but reach out to me on email. I'll probably notice it faster. To Nicholas, it's the same way as I pushed to my Alexa device here. So I showed everyone earlier that I built this in like 5 minutes and it's on my Alexa as well. As long as the account that you upload to, so when I'm uploading to Alexa, I link it to an actual Alexa Amazon account. If that account is the same as the one on my device, usually it works. I'll just take you guys to the Google Flow just in case, because there seems to be a lot of interest there. Google project. I have the Google in the name. Google project. Same thing, press upload to Google. And so you would want to create a project on Google, and then you select the one you kind of want to go on to. But there's a normal flow that it'll guide you through as well. Sorry, Chantal, what do you mean by to get the code? Oh yeah, to like call the webhook endpoint. This is a hidden link because we just released this feature like 2 days ago, but I thought it'd be cool to share for Hack North. It's so whatever your like link, you're on your canvas, right? Over here, where it says canvas, replace that with webhook. And that will take you to a special link that will allow you to send a request over. Yeah, that's how you would generate the requests. But this only works within the Voiceflow prototype tool. And yeah, the code block is on the left side if you want to just write raw JavaScript code. And there is something called an API block to make an API request. Yeah, but if you're really lazy, like I've seen a lot of people, you can use Google Sheets instead of like an API block to store data. So like normally if you had like an enterprise application, you'd use something like a real database like SQL and have an actual like backend. But we've seen a lot of users kind of like make a Google Sheet. I'm just gonna, I don't have any spreadsheets on this account, but yeah, you can just make a spreadsheet and like based on what the user says, assign their value to a spreadsheet so you can like build out a list of something, like reminders. Yeah. On Google itself, so as you guys can see here, I'm on my Alexa developer console. You're actually on a workspace in this Amazon Developer Console. It's kind of shared. And I think the same applies to Google. So these are like workspaces not on Voiceflow, but on Google and on Alexa. And you guys have to just all be on the same workspace, and you guys can see each other's projects and share them as well. That's for Nicholas. Yeah, and for IoT, yes, make those API requests. That's pretty much it. That's all there is to it. You want to turn on the lights, like send if your light has a like a thing. Yeah, I actually have my entire house hooked up to smart lights too. Sorry, my Alexa's in like French because I'm learning French. Alexa, désactiver la salle de séjour. Yeah, but you can kind of hook up like IoT devices like that, so it's kind of fun. Cool. Does anyone have any? Oh, okay. What do you mean by specific voice recognition? Oh, yeah. I don't think that's built into Voiceflow at the moment. It might be something on the Google Actions panel. Yeah, so on Google, it's called Actions, and on Alexa, they're called Skills, but they're fundamentally the same thing. They're apps that exist on your assistant, just like you have apps on your phone. Yeah, and maybe there are some settings over here that has user detection here on Google Actions console, and you can configure it out over here. You might have to play around and look around here, but basically whatever you generate on Voiceflow gets exported over to the console. Yeah. Yeah, all in all, I think it still should be very easy for everyone here to build something really cool, really quick, and to make it work and kind of impress people. Just think of a really cool, innovative ideas. I'll go over all the cliches, which I think you guys should not make. Don't make a reminders app. Don't make some productivity app that's like very overdone. Don't make something about what type of food you can make based on what you have in the fridge. I've seen that like 20 times now. But yeah, just come with something new, and it should be cool. Okay. In the meantime, I can show everyone some more advanced concepts on Voiceflow. This is not. If I create a variable called I, and I set my I equals to 0. I is smaller than 5. And go over here and say, this is going to be a horrible experience, but blast over here and right. So does anyone think they know what's going to happen when I run this?
Hello, do you want to hear a dad joke? Hello, 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 hello.
Oops, I think I bugged myself out. My logic is not very good. Yeah. Oh, Perhan, you got it right. Oh yeah, because I didn't. Okay, that is correct because I did not set I equals the I plus one. Man, I have failed as a programmer here. Sorry, back onto the questions. Source code to work with Voiceflow. Yeah, we do, but it's only for enterprise at the moment. But I guess if you guys want to talk to me on my email, sure. But I wouldn't. We have the source code for the actual runtime. So if you want to link your Alexa project to run off your own computer instead of Voiceflow, that's possible. We're actually like very open source. You can go on voiceflow.com and see what repos we have. Sorry, GitHub Voiceflow. Sorry. See what repos we have available. I'm obviously going to see more repos than you guys can, but we do have a lot of source code available for things. And for Benjamin, yes, intents. Intents work kind of almost equivalent to the Alexa or Google system, where you create an intent. Yeah, this is the conversational part where I haven't really elaborated much with you guys as well. Let me actually find a better project for this. Here we go. This actually has like intents. So the difference here is in my order pizza now, I have typed up like almost every conceivable way a user could probably order a pizza and train it. And you can see here where we're waiting for something. So like, do you like what type of pizza do you want? This is the conversational flow aspect. In Voiceflow, there's this like learn thing, and that'll take you to the docs, and that will actually have all the information you need, more than what I can give in this presentation. Essentially, it fills out things for you as you kind of go through the conversation, so you can tell what the user wants.
Welcome to Voiceflow Pizza. What can I get for you? What type of pizza? Is this for pickup or delivery? Great. I have a small pepperoni pizza for delivery. Is this correct?
Yeah, I mean, debug your own stuff. Make sure you don't end up with null pizza somehow, because your entities are all whack. Yeah, it's not gonna work if you say, let me get a pizza, because it's, like I said earlier, right now, as of now, it is not smart, quote unquote. It doesn't have like NLP built in, but it has like a lame cheat. I have my local environment set up. We actually do have NLP set up. If you guys want preview access to this feature, we can also give that as well. So this is the smart version of that. Nope. Okay, my local environment's pretty janked right now. But but yeah, there's a smarter version of like this as well. Huh. Maybe there is a development environment where I can show this off. Sorry, my computer's having a stroke because I have like 20 VS Code windows open and a bunch of terminal tasks in the back end. But yeah, my RAM is gone, man. I'll just check just for the sake of it. Kind of funny. Okay, it's getting destroyed by Chrome. Yeah, my computer is not having a fun time. For those who email me, I might give you access to this cool environment that we have set up. It's like a separate, like, secret thing, but this actually has like what we call NLP built in. So when you actually press test, same thing as well, but you can actually train your assistant to be smart, your Voiceflow assistant to be smart. And if you say, let me get a pizza, it'll actually figure out that it's the same as saying, I want a pizza. Yeah, so NLP stands for natural language processing. It's very nice on your resume. It's a buzzword, just like machine learning. It's when you take a user's like what they've said, like text, and you figure out and you map that over to an intent. So, and a good example of this might be this order pizza thing, right? They could say, I want a pizza. I've typed in like some methods here, but like Burhan said up there, what would they say? Let me get a pizza, or dude, can I get a pizza, man? Or something like that, right? Like, how do you resolve that to the fact that they want to order a pizza and they want a small pineapple pizza for delivery or something? That's what NLP does. Yeah, natural language processing. And there's also another concept that's like kind of interchangeable called NLU, which is natural language understanding. It's just making it smart so that it understands, it can kind of like fuzzy match what the user says to something else. It's able to distinguish like that a cat is an animal, and in this like slot, maybe you're mostly looking for like a type of pizza, like a food item instead of, and this is like a size. Yeah. I could actually show this off. I'm chucking a bunch of random names here. It's a okay, so I have this name, or you can say I am called. No one's. So I have a bunch of ways to say this. I'm just going to change this to tense. Okay, and over here I might say make this else a path. I'll loop both of these back here. So the difference is the NLP is actually smart enough to figure out what is a human name and what's not, and it's able to, for the most part, figure things out. I'm going to train it over here. Cool. Now it's trained. That's pretty
What is your name?
There's also a way you can press voice here, and if you enable your microphone, you can actually just do text to speech. My name is Tyler.
Hello, Tyler. What is your name?
This is a completely unrelated sentence.
No idea what you said. What is your name?
John.
Hello, John. What is your name?
Someone want to give me like ideas what to say. The training makes it smart, so it's able to tell the fact like what is a name and what isn't. It lets you kind of fuzzy match. So even when you define, so like here I've defined like, I don't know, 6 different ways of saying about my own name, right? Yeah, so like Burhan said right there, like people call me Burhan, but I didn't say people call me something, right?
What is your name?
The people call me Tyler.
Hello, Tyler. What is your name?
So it's smart enough to figure out that the people call me Tyler is a name to fetch a name, and that the name within that sentence is Tyler. It took out that little Tyler part, and that actually makes a huge difference, right? It makes your assistant from being like a complete dumb like rock thing to like, if it just said like, hello, the people call me Tyler, it would seem stupid. But this training process makes it smart. Let's try. I am potato.
Hello, Tyler. What is your name?
Nope, that completely screwed it up. Yeah, so my name is Abdullah.
Hello, Abdullah. What is your name?
Yeah. So no, I did not hard code this. I don't have like 10,000 if statements. It works because it uses machine learning. So yeah, it's kind of fun. And yeah, this is on a special development version of Voiceflow that is not the actual Voiceflow. Well, let's try that out. I'm not.
No idea what you said. What is your name?
Sorry, it doesn't think Elon Musk kid is a real person. But here's the thing. You train it. It's up to you to make it smart. You go over here and you go to your slots and you would add a special value here. And then now if I train it again, so I'm going to save the slot and I train it again, it's able to figure it out. So that's the idea of ML. You feed it more, the more examples you can feed it, the smarter it gets. It's just like training. Yeah. So yeah, for this special development version of Voiceflow, message me at my email and I should be able to get you a copy. Otherwise, just you can make a Google or Alexa project. Like it won't work on the Voiceflow prototype tool, but when you upload it to Alexa and Google, they have their own NLP. They have their own machine learning algorithms that's able to figure it out as well. So yeah, either way is cool. Yeah, no problem. I hope you guys found it all interesting. Again, in my very unbiased opinion, I think Voiceflow is the easiest way to build a functional project within 2 days that like actually you can be guaranteed to demo at the end. Yeah, so all right, see you guys, good luck, and see you around.